It's getting much worse. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that's the reality of what's happening right now. And yet, the market is always right. And the stock market has exploded today. Wall Street rally gained steam. I'm reading this off of CNBC. The Dow Jones surged 600 points after strong jobs report. And the labor market is in fuego. Just look and see. Payrolls rose 339,000 in May, which was significantly better than expected because the expectations were so low. They were expecting only 190,000 jobs, which goes to show you exactly how accurate analysts' expectations are. But it goes on to say that the unemployment rate rose to 3.7% in May against the estimate of 3.5%. And yet, May's jobless rate was the highest since October of 2022. I wonder what Big Papa Powell is going to do. And while it's yet to be determined, I suspect I already know because he has told us exactly what he intends to do. And his intent is to bring down employment numbers. But evidently, I'm the only one who's paying attention. And if you've been watching for a while, I've said out loud to everybody that'll listen that they will do whatever they must do in order to create something in the economy to get themselves elected. And they will manipulate and pull whatever levers they must pull in order to stimulate the economy. So despite the fact that they've manipulated the system and changed the way they measure inflation and employment and any other metric that they can manipulate in order to create bullish optimism, if you think I believe any of this nonsense, well, I'm here to tell you I don't. But the market is always right. And what I think about the economy and the market is irrelevant. And the truth is, there may be a hell of a lot more juice in this lemon left for them to squeeze in order to do what they want. And when I share this email that I got from an industry professional today, you're going to fall out of your chair. So if you're watching this, please sit down because I don't want anybody to get hurt any more than they are going to get hurt if they listen to the advice and they follow some of these new products, which are being made available wholesale to everyone. But depending on how close you're paying attention and depending on which market you're in, there are analysts out there right now that are very optimistic about housing prices. In fact, they might even be irrationally exuberant. They might be completely bullish in regards to where real estate is trading moving forward. And Case-Shiller is on the record as stating that home price declines may be over. And full disclosure, they may be over. And they may not be over because home values, especially in my market, will continue to rip based on supply and demand up until they don't. But nationally, home prices in March were 0.7% higher than March of 2022, according to S&P CoreLogic Case-Shiller indices. And after the seasonal adjustment, prices increased nationally 0.4% in March compared with February. And the 10-city composite gained 0.6%, and the 20-city composite rose 0.5%. So despite all of the bad news that you may have heard, the good news is, according to S&P Case-Shiller, home price declines may be over. And there's a lot of folks out there that are saying that this market is completely different than the setup that happened during the last crash. And I agree. That is 100% true. The credit worthiness of most borrowers is much better than it was way back when. However, today I got an email from an industry expert, someone that I trust, who's selling a new product. And I'm not going to put anybody on blast, but I want you to know what this product is because the setup is in. And the email goes on to say, access your equity with our new product, Equity Express. And this product will allow you in 5 minutes to close. And it will fund in 5 days. And it goes on to say that rising home values may give you a source of money that you haven't considered yet, a home equity line of credit. A home equity line of credit is phenomenal up until you got no equity. But they make this very easy and very simple. 5 minutes to close, 5 days to fund, 100% of your loan amount, which again is going to be contingent on the equity in your home. And in Florida, most homeowners have a metric shit ton of equity up until they don't. And right now, personal consumer debt is at an all-time high, and personal consumer savings is at an all-time low. So what an easy and convenient way to access more equity, right? Well, maybe yet to be determined, but I'm going to talk about that here more in a second. In addition to that, they are making it much more easy for the consumer who's feeling financial distress to go out there and access their 401k. You can go out there and not be penalized if you meet certain terms and conditions because you're in financial distress. You can live off of those savings, of those investments, of that equity that has accrued. And if you're a critical thinker at all, I wonder why they want to let you run through all your equity. I wonder if they want us to be more dependent on them. Yet to be determined, I don't know, but it certainly makes for a good conversation. Nonetheless, this new product, Equity Express, advantages are, according to this email, that you can borrow up to 85% of your home's value, which is the total of the first and second mortgages. And if you've got two mortgages and you're getting a third mortgage or a fourth mortgage or a HELOC or whatever the case may be, please understand that you are borrowing money. And if you can't pay that interest when it's due, you will be forced to sell. But this product absolutely allows the consumer to kick the can down the road longer, to keep living the way they're accustomed to for an extended period of time. And to be clear, if you're making a lot of money and you can afford to do these things, well, then congratulations, you're not at risk. But if you're using your home as a piggy bank or your 401k as a piggy bank in order to sustain yourself through distress, personal financial distress, well, then you are at significant risk in the future. And while the rate on this HELOC may be fixed, so there are no surprise increases, if you can't pay the bill when it's due because you lost your job or some other personal financial distress, well, then you're in big trouble. And the equity, which may be significant now, may not be in the future. And if everyone is feeling the same financial distress right around the same time, whether it's forced by the bank or the lender or not, the supply side of things are likely to skyrocket. And if the supply of homes available is through the roof and the demand to buy those homes is significantly less or perhaps non-existent, well, then home prices crash. And this is not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Now, I hope you found this content valuable. And if you did, please subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up, follow me on Twitter where I can never be censored. And if you're thinking about buying or selling really anywhere, please reach out because we would love to help. And check out my next video because I suspect you will love it a lot. And until next time,